The baker's man likes everything he bakes, satisfying and delicious.
Welcome to another episode of the Chosen Podcast. Today I'm sitting with Yaseen Baker. This is the second time we actually give this a go. The first time I wasn't happy with the final product, and it is mostly because I felt I didn't do justice to the podcast.
He's lying, I wasn't finding enough.
No, man. So I got him back on, like, and since then you got a lot more experience, like, because when you first came on you were doing it for like a month or something, and now you're doing it for a lot longer.
I know. But I mean, you can't really count because we had the pandemic, you know.
6 months.
We were indoors, so I mean, experience in inverted commas, I guess.
Yeah, but you were doing a lot of online shows when you were indoors, like indoors, sorry, when we were on lockdown.
Yeah. I guess so. IG lives and YouTube lives and cricket lives, and so I guess you can cut. I mean, it's not really stage time though, so I guess.
But online seems to be sort of where well, when I first found out about you, like, it was the meme guy, like, you know, and I think, who's this guy spreading all these memes? So it seems that online seems to be your playground, like.
I mean,
is it so?
So I think social media is super important, especially for any public figure. I think it's like extremely important. But that is how I started with my comedy journey. I did memes. I posted jokes almost every day on social media and started getting like recognized that way. I wouldn't say it's my playground, but I do have fun on it and I do capitalize on the market. So. Yeah, I guess you could say so then.
Capitalize on the market. How do you mean capitalize on the market?
You know,
have you got work from it?
I have gotten work from it.
Easy.
I have. It's I think. I don't know if you've seen The Social Dilemma. So, Facebook or social media is a tool, and like any other tool, if used correctly, you could use it to your gain. And I think I've managed to, and I'm still continuing to do, not so much anymore, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Continuing to capitalize on social media. It has given me a name. It has put me out there, put me on the map. So yes, it's important. And
what's your favorite app? Twitter, Facebook, or Insta, or?
I love Twitter. I love Twitter for its authenticity. But Twitter doesn't like me.
I also feel that way. I also feel Twitter don't like me. Maybe there's the amount of characters. I don't know.
But Facebook seems to be the favorite.
Yeah. Your memes were very, very popular on Facebook at one time. I mean, even big brands were trying to scoop up your memes and stuff like that. Huh?
Yeah, it is.
Not scoop up, but they were paying attention to your memes. I should say that rather.
Yeah, can I name drop? I mean, I don't know. Okay, I don't want to name drop, but there was a meme that became so popular that
Pick and Pay.
Yeah, wanted to print them and give me and pay me for every pack collected kind of thing. That didn't materialize because I think I became greedy. I wanted more. And then they just like said no.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's something to it. There's something to it. It's like for every hit, for every miss, you might get something right. So maybe that didn't work. But maybe somewhere along the line, there's something to that, like that.
And then at the other end of the spectrum, I had lawyers contact me.
I know about that one.
Lawyers contact me for copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Apparently, I can't use their colors and sort of layout or whatever, or my surname that I was born into. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting time, like you were talking about the social dilemma, like, because it's like there's a lot of positives about the social media, but it also comes with negatives, like. And it's like you were saying, it's like, how do we navigate ourselves through that and find a way to capitalize on it? Like I speak to my wife like about like comedy and podcasts, and I do obviously stuff for EFC and because I'm doing stuff for EFC, I need to gain more knowledge. So all these things, like I try to explain to my wife that even though I'm doing it and there's no money coming from it now, one day there's a big pie in the sky. I see that there's something gonna happen with it, and I can see this by the growth of other people and by the growth of small things that I do, like the fight community acknowledges whenever I put out a video. They're like, yo, check this out and stuff like that. And it's quite weird that the comedy side doesn't acknowledge me that much. Like, do you feel that way with your memes?
Sometimes I do. I feel like because I'm a graphic designer, and I think the memes are sort of hand in hand with it. And then there's a comedy side of it. I feel like I put every aspect of me into this type of thing, and if you don't appreciate it, like what don't you like about me? You know? I know what you mean. It's like a personal thing.
No, but some of them are very, very good, and they're very at a very high level. And how can people not react to it? So it's like, what is their problem? I shouldn't say what is their problem.
I know. I know what you mean. It's a bit of both. It's like we shouldn't have the expectation of being acknowledged and appreciated, because it's like entitlement, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, come on guys, it's good.
Or maybe we thinking it's good and they thinking it's shit. I don't know, but it's a really interesting place. And like you say, because you're a graphic designer and you're also a comedian, somehow it goes hand in hand. I feel that way too, because I'm also a graphic designer, comedian. It's like there's some creativity that you get from graphic design that you can apply to comedy as well, and especially with memes and the way everything is going, like Instagram, images, video, all mixed into one. I feel that we don't know what the end product. There is not an end product yet. There's something more still coming. You know what I mean?
That's interesting, actually.
I don't think social media is the end product. There's a step further that we go in, and maybe we're not there yet, because right now we still putting graphic design and comedy in boxes sort of. And we even putting online comedy and comedy on a stage in boxes, and there's no.
That is true.
There's no cohesiveness between the two. And even when you see it done, like if you see stand-up comedy done online, to me, I don't feel it's 100% effective. Do you agree with me or disagree with me?
I do. I feel like it has to be done in front of an audience.
But maybe we just not doing it right.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's this comedian in the States called Dimitri Martin. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No.
He literally, so he's a one-liner, but with his one-liners he tells a story, and when he tells a story he has illustrations up projected on the screen. So he is literally combining all of those, the memes, the social media, the comedy, all into his act. And I feel like it's next level. I think I could do something like that. I feel like the world could, get involved in something like that. I'm excited. You make a good point. Is
there something more coming? I always like to look at it that way. Like, and how can we push the log? There's a group of comedians coming up, or I would say like comedians that started like in the last 3 years or so, or I don't know. But it just feels like that are willing to do things totally different, to how things were done before. And that I think is exciting for me. That's why or there's a lot of us that sort of gravitate towards each other, because they see that in each other, like, you willing to break the narrative would say, let's break the wheel, like, you know what I mean? And then we're gonna come up with something totally better.
Do you know, it's funny you mentioned that. So I do feel like the new comics are adding an extra, more modern take on like getting themselves out there, and like even the content is different. but the OGs of comedy don't necessarily like. They're not on board. They don't like that. You know, they want us to go out in the streets and hand out flyers to the comedy events. They want us to earn that spot, which I can understand. I mean, things weren't as easy as putting a poster on Facebook and having people share it. You know what I mean? It's not as easy as that. They had to work for it, and I feel like the hunger intensifies when you do that. When you yourself are out in the streets handing that. Whereas us, it's just like easy. I think it's easier. It's easier to get stage time now.
For me, like where it's most where I see it like as like with my podcast. Like you see it with your memes, I see it with my podcast. Though there's not much comedy podcast, and there's not a comedy podcast. This is just me talking to comedians and stuff like that. So I acknowledge that. But there's not much. I can count maybe 5 that I know of, like. Right? Let's say you're in Cape Town, right? But yet, there's others that have been acknowledged that have a different tone to what I'm doing, and I haven't been acknowledged. They won't even acknowledge me. That I guess similar to you say that they won't even acknowledge. They won't even acknowledge you. I feel like they won't even acknowledge me, and it's like I shouldn't have a chip on my shoulder or anything like that, but I do.
Yeah.
Because now I have a thing like, now you're gonna see. I'm gonna keep working hard. I'm gonna work so hard. You're gonna see. I'm gonna get better and stuff like that. It shouldn't be like that. It should be like, hey, check what those guys are doing. Let's jump on board and do the new way and ask them questions, because I can give you tons of information about things that I've learned like through doing this. Like Google has like analytics, and as a graphic designer, you know, we don't like numbers and stuff like that. But when those numbers equate to what the pictures, well, how I should present my picture, that starts to interest me.
Yeah.
So now I can say, okay, no, but the client doesn't like, the customer doesn't like it, or the audience doesn't like it if I present my thing in this way. Let me present it by shooting it with 2 or 3 cameras, because they like it more like that. If I just shoot it with 1 camera from that point of view, I lose viewers. But as soon as I start flipping between cameras, I retain the viewers for 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes on average, and so on. So there's learnings that I have to teach them.
Absolutely, but at the same time, like, I commend you for that, because a lot of people will go like, this isn't working, you know, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm not getting the views or acknowledgement that I think I deserve, so I'm just going to quit doing it. But no, you are using it as motivation to become better. I think I'm just a different character, like, and a lot of people don't realize that, like that maybe when I was younger or something like that, I learned like lessons differently, like so I had to overcome it, and now being put in this situation, it's like, now you guys are gonna see. Yeah. But it's in anyway. There is a lot of supporters as well. We must talk about the supporters in the industry as well. That's helping us, like Eugene and CJ is very. I'm very close to them, and they help me out. Do you have like guys in your corner that's helping you out? I do. You just had him on the podcast, Keith Mukram. Yeah. I feel he Ishad Mohammed, I need to mention the surnames as well. Rory Abrams, Gino Fernandez, Nick Rabinovitz. These people are literally in my corner and have, in fact, before I even went up on stage, were in my corner, supporting me, motivating me, like encouraging me to get up on that stage and do comedy. And literally since then, they're still in my corner, supporting me, and I'm grateful for that. Shout out if you guys are watching this. It's dope to have like people like Gino and Nick in your corner, because like they well established in the industry, and it's like if they vouch for you, do you feel like, yo, I got the real shot at this? Like, I do. How Nick came? How did Nick? How did you become? Funny thing. So I was literally in the drive-in at McDonald's in my car, and I get this message pop up on my phone. Hi, this is Nick Rabinovitz. I'm doing a show on the whatever. Would you like to do 5 minutes? And I'm like, is someone catfishing me? Like right now, I take a screenshot and I send it to. I think Keith was one of the people I sent it to. Like, is this is actually happening right now? Am I being catfished? So and it turns out to be it was him. It was legit him, and I did a show with him, and that was it.
Did you do performances before then? How did he get your name?
This was 2 months. 2 months. After I started doing comedy.
Okay.
And I did a show with him, and since then he's been in my corner, I guess.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, that's how we started. And he's going to headline at the gig I have going.
Is it that the speak about the gig so that the people can know? So you are running a gig.
I do every second Sunday. It's called Inside Jokes at the place called The Lounge. It's in Crawford. Every Sunday night at 7:30. Every second Sunday night, at 7:30. We just had one. The next one is happening this coming Sunday. The date, I don't know when you're going to be. I'm gonna
release both podcasts this week. Hopefully. Let's check it out.
Okay, so Sunday the 4th of October is the next one, and Gino's
is it every Sunday?
Every second Sunday.
Every second Sunday. So people check it out. Every second Sunday you're gonna be having something. That's lekker, man. Is it scary running
it
your
is it's fine. I haven't it happened like randomly. I spoke to he is the #1 best-selling author twice of South Africa, Yusuf Daniels, and he's colored, so like mad shout out. He and I were speaking, and he had a book signing at the Lounge, and I said, this is a nice venue to have comedy at. And he said, yes, I agree with you. It's a nice gig to have, a nice venue to have comedy at. And then he is friends with the owner of that place. So the two of them got speaking, and then they got back to me and said, we're doing comedy at the place. So I guess I have
Yusuf Daniels. What did he write?
Living Colored.
Okay, I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, so he has another book from Mitchell's Plane to Aeroplane or something like that. It's massive. It's massive at the moment.
Cool. How did you become friends with that guy?
I don't know.
Just meet him.
Yeah.
Or the people like your statuses or something like that.
I think so.
That's how it goes.
I think so. I think that's how it happened.
Yeah, it's interesting that people sort of grab those. You probably make that like on average like maybe 100, 150 odd or 200 people laugh at your joke, because you update quite regularly.
I do,
and your status is quite. I don't always like, because maybe I'm busy driving. I'm not a drive. I don't text and drive. I don't do that. Yeah. But maybe I'm busy or something. So I always check it out, and I'm like, this guy is. And how do you find the time?
I don't know. My wife's annoyed. My wife's my biggest critic and biggest supporter. But she gets annoyed because I make dad jokes all the time, all like non-stop, to the point where my kids we've stop making jokes now. But whenever I get a thought, I either in my notepad or I post it. Yeah. So
a lot of your jokes that you have on your socials, you do on stage as well.
If it depends. If it gets a lot of laughs on the socials, then I think I'll modify it to
so
use
you
on
use
stage.
your socials as like a training ground.
Testing, like a testing platform, I guess.
So you play the way I look at it like I like MMA and stuff like it. So I look at it like you're training in social media, and then your big fight is like when you go on stage and stuff like that. And I mean that's a new way of doing it, because there's older comedians that believe you shouldn't put your stuff out on socials. And for me, I don't have, like I was telling Keith, I don't have lots of punchlines. I have a long story. So I'm trying to work on my punchlines more. Whereas you more punchline guy. So it's also difficult for me to arrange punchlines. So I force myself to write to get out more punchlines. But yeah, I find it difficult, like, to be in your position. So maybe I must use that as like a training, because the older guys, they don't believe you must put your stuff out.
Yeah.
But I'm so scared if I put my stuff out, then somebody else is gonna take my joke.
Steal it. I know. There is that.
But you don't have that fear. You just like fuck it.
There is that, and it has happened like many times, like status updates and memes even.
Hey, somebody stole it.
When they've just like taken it and used it as their own.
So there's one guy, like, and I'll say his name. Is this guy Plasnar? He told me already. I got him at a comedy like show, like, and he told me like, the comedians is bang when he come in the room because the comedians know like he's gonna steal their jokes, and he don't give a fuck. Like, he said to me, I'm gonna take their jokes. Like, what can they do? You know, like,
we can't do anything, but
he says he's not a comedian, so he doesn't care. Like,
okay.
He doesn't care.
Is he not making money off?
He's making money. Yeah, he's making more money than a lot of comedians.
But that sucks. That sucks because I mean,
it's plagiarism.
We don't have. Yeah, it's plagiarism. I mean, what we don't have.
That's why don't put yourself.
We don't have like copyrights on.
Just imagine Plasnar, you do a set one, or you come somewhere and Plasnar is doing your fool. He's busy reading your fool Facebook. Hey, waar bitchy? Waar is het?
My status updates.
And the people are scanning themselves because you're giving your stuff away for free.
I know.
Anyway, I mean, I guess you write a lot of jokes, so you don't worry. But
I don't. I mean, generally, I don't. I feel like if I were to make jokes that I heard by someone else, that I will lose respect, and I mean, people will lose respect for me basically. And I feel the same way about anyone else who steals intellectual property.
Yes,
I will immediately lose respect for you.
You understand that because we're graphic designers, man. It's more prevalent like in our industries, but with other people's industries, not like they don't care. But yeah, it's sort of like a scumbaggy thing to do, and you're not gonna get better like that. You
won't get better, exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna stay at that level, but I mean, if you want to stay at that level, then I guess that's your choice. Like,
how sad? What a sad life to live.
I mean, like I was telling Keith, so not, we all don't have the gift of writing like good punchlines like you. I wish I could write as much punchlines as you. I like think to myself, if I could only. But you know what? I'm gonna write down, sit with my pen and pad, and try to get to that place.
You have this podcast. I can't do this podcast.
Why not?
I don't think I can.
I think you can host. I think you can host. I think if you can host a comedy show, you can talk on a podcast and talk. Like, you just talk, have like a conversation.
It's not the same though.
Like, I guess so, yeah.
Like you are hosting this podcast and you are making me speak. I'm answering your question. I'm bouncing off of you. I can't do that.
I guess
it's not the other way around.
But you know what I do? So before me and you speak, I have like a comedy bit in my head of me and you.
Okay. Now you see that my brain doesn't work.
But now what happens is sometimes, like the first time we do it, is where you answer me something totally different to what I expect you're gonna answer me, and I sit like, oh shit, I don't know where to go with this.
So see, you know us before we even speak to you.
I do a little bit of research, yeah. I do, but I mean, you put everything out there, and it's for the world to see. Like, so
I'm an open book.
You're an open book, yeah. Open book. I just like you. I also don't get Twitter. I don't think it clicks with me that well, but. It's also maybe because I'm not part of that cool crowd, I feel me.
Yeah, Twitter is very clicky.
Clicky, yeah. You see, sometimes I don't know if you have to, what do you have to do to get in the cool crowd?
You have to start an OnlyFans account. I'm kidding. I don't know actually.
So what do you see in the future for what do you have goals in this comedy?
In the comedy, I want to tour essay. Firstly. I've done comedy club, so I can check that off my list.
Another person that can check it off. I was talking to Keith about I can't check comedy club with my club. For one and only reason, they didn't choose me to be there. I was performing there, but I wasn't chosen. But anyway, that's for another story. I feel Cape Town comedy, and I think they spoke about this on groups before. It's like in a weird space
At the moment.
for a long time. Maybe not now at the moment, but pre-lockdown was in a weird space where it's like you say, clicky or whatever, and like there's a rise of various podcasts and various online shows or things, stuff like that, and you can see by the different groups of who's in that, who goes on that podcast, who's friends all together. Oh, so that one's all on that podcast, or that. Oh, so you saw all together and stuff like that. I think there must be more cross-pollination, man. But I don't see that happening. Well,
I think you can start it, man. I mean, if you like, I haven't necessarily noticed.
I've tried. Like, I have tried. Yeah, I've reached out to some people that I believed were outside my area and stuff like that, and they seem to be dismissive of me.
Really?
But I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure, like in the early stages of laughter and lockdown, he also experienced that. Yeah, I spoke to him about it. Like, you get that, like. But I mean, what? So what if people don't like you? People don't like you.
Exactly.
You move on.
You pave your own way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tell me about your wife's brand, Zombie Mom.
Zombie Mom, yes. So Zombie Mom started out as, so my wife is...
Who does the designs for this stuff?
I do.
Okay.
So my wife is, she's a video editor. Man, among other things. She
why didn't you say have your own show? Like,
I know.
She's a video editor and a designer.
I'll get to it actually. So, okay, so my wife...
Zombie Mom.
Started out, yes, Zombie Mom. So she started out as an actress. She's been in a couple of movies and like, not sitcoms, like drama and like feature films. She's been in a lot, like even before she studied, and then she went to AFTA and studied and went into even more and studied video editing there as well. And then she had a startup company called DNA Studios, which didn't do well. But now, so then she decided to stay at home because we had 2 kids, and then she decided to launch a brand called Zombie Mom, and it started out as like an outlet. She blogged.
Yeah, that's how comedy starts out for a lot of people. But okay.
So she blogged, and she branded T-shirts and matching onesies with like catchphrases, like funny things, and I design that just because I'm a husband and I'm there.
cheap labor.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't pay me. But now she started doing video content as of like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Still hasn't necessarily been doing well, but it's an outlet for her, and I think it's like amazing and funny and all. I
saw the concept for some of her, for one of her videos, which she's like talking to her old
talking to her 15-year-old
like,
self.
Yeah, but maybe the what you call it, maybe like the punchlines you wasn't there, but the concept I felt was like
brilliant.
Was brilliant. Yeah, it was like nobody's done that.
Yeah,
like exactly. You get some people steal like a what you call it, a skit. Yeah. And then they just do it like in a different version, like that's boring. But I've never seen like a time travel buzz like it. I was thinking this is quite interesting. So the concept was there. Like,
I know.
Let's keep doing.
Yeah, that's exactly. So she started a YouTube channel like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, but she does like amazing things. But what you asked, why are we doing something together? The next video that she's launching is actually the 2 of us.
Nice.
And I'm gonna be...
You're gonna be like Waffles in Mo.
No.
Joking. I'm joking.
But okay, so she has this character that she plays. It's like a news presenter. And on a show called The Bakery Update. Nice. And I'm going to be like a guest speaker on it.
You mustn't tell too much.
I don't wanna- I don't wanna tell too
don't
much.
say too much because people.
But yes, follow the zombie mom.
Zombie mom, yeah.
Like
It's
and
quite
follow.
interesting. Like you say, like when it starts as an outlet or like a passion, I feel there's more substance to that. Like, and even though there's not like a lot of following, I feel in the future, it's like if you build a good foundation. Like, I recently started doing jiu-jitsu, so now, I'm that guy. Like, it
Okay.
applies all like
Okay.
in jiu-jitsu they say. But in jiu-jitsu you must have a good base, like, and you know, like a lot of things is if you have a good base, like it's like if you have a good foundation, it's a good start.
It's a
like,
good starting point.
and then
yeah.
you can like always build up, like, and I feel that way with my podcast as well. Like, I like don't have a lot of subscribers, but the people that's listening is loving what they're hearing. So cool, I'll keep doing
Absolutely.
me.
But that's the thing. Like when it stems from like a passion or an outlet, then you're not doing it for other people. You're doing it for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that is first and foremost like the building blocks of a good whatever it is you do.
Do you feel that way? Because I mean, both of us are graphic designers, right? So we obviously had to make our money sort of working for corporate companies. That's where you're gonna get your money as a graphic designer. Not really. Well, I know you do freelance, but obviously there's better money in the corp. We both know that.
with benefits.
Yeah, right. With benefits. So, and obviously in that arena, you're not being as true to yourself. Not that we're not being true to ourselves, but you sort of not for being creative within your own space. Like, it's with now I'm being creative in my own space. Like, do you feel that like that in comedy and design? Like you feel that like you can't be very creative in design, so you have to like sort of find it in comedy or something like that.
I think,
or in memes or something like that.
I literally think it's a bit of both. It's putting yourself out there as well as what the audience wants. So I think it's like where you meet in the middle. It's like you need to find that sweet point, that sweet spot. But I do think that is with anything that you do. If your passion and your heart is in it, you're gonna have to meet the audience somewhere. Because whatever you do, it's for yourself and it's for someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even us as designers,
you have to follow that brief. Like there must be like sort of like
you have to. Yeah. I mean, even us when we start new jobs, or when you start new jobs and looking for want to convince clients to pick you to design their things. I mean, you need to have a portfolio. That's all the work that you've done. That's you. You know what I mean? This is you presenting yourself. This is what I can do. So, yeah, what was the question?
we're talking about our passions, like and why we both do what we do. And I don't know. I just feel like. I feel I'm more like I would say, like we were saying, I feel I'm more creative doing what I want to do.
What you want to do. Okay.
And when I'm doing what other people want me to do, is I struggle. But I can do it. But I'm not as motivated.
That's how famous people think. They don't care about other people. They just do it for themselves and then have people buy into what they are like. That is Chappelle.
Yeah, that's Chappelle. But that's how I want to think. But it sucks when you only have little followers. Okay, so here's the thing. So here's the thing. If I had to make a podcast, and had to lean to more controversial views, you would tend to get more followers. Am I right?
It is, but it's a niche following. Specific for that. Do you know what I mean?
But you'd still get more clicks if you have more clickbaity headlines and there's more that type of stuff. Whereas I want to stay true to myself. I'm trying to stay true to what I'm doing here. I could make the topic of this podcast, YouTube podcast, like watch me chop off Yaseen Peas head. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
could be that, and then people are like, you check it, this man, what is actually going on there? But
And
I want to
have-
stay true to my audience. I have like a photo of it.
I have a thumbnail of my head like on the film.
But I want to stay true to myself, and it might not be as cool
No.
not having your head chopped off, but I want to stay true to that. Like,
Absolutely. It's more, can respect you more for that.
yeah, man. But anyway, thanks for today. Thanks for coming to have coffee
Awesome.
with me today. And I gave you some
Consistence, which
as
was
well.
nice.
And we had a lot better flowy conversation than before. Like.
Mm.
So you're obviously gonna keep on with the comedy and
I
with
am.
working freelance.
I am.
I got some ideas I wanna run past you, like.
Of course, and let me help with punchlines if you ever need it.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take you up on that. I need lots, like, and yeah, we should. I think one of the topics that we touched on today is like helping each other as comedians and as
Absolutely.
creatives.
In fact, seeing that you speak about that, like there's one thing that I preach about whenever I have a platform is that stand-up comedy especially, it's not a competition. I'm not against you in this comedy industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a team effort. Whichever the audience and the crowd or the whatever grab onto or gravitate towards, then that's how it happened. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna take you down so that I can go up.
Yeah.
No, we need to go on the journey together. We need to stand by each other as comedians. We're in this together. Too many comedians are fighting with each other. We need to stop that, man.
Liquor, man. I'm all love, and yeah, I'm gonna take you up on the offer to
For
help
sure.
me with some punchlines.
For sure.
And yeah, maybe if we show that we working together, liquor, because I mean we sort of competition. We both starting off. why you laughing?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
you a graphic designer
Yes.
comedian. I'm a graphic designer comedian. If you look at it in the
I know.
bigger scheme of things, we be in competition. But I've never ever seen you as a competition. I always see like
Exactly.
maybe if I work with this, but I will get better at doing what because I want to be like him. I want to be able to write 50 punchlines a day on Facebook and like throw it away and not care for people. You know what I mean?
I do, kid. Don't say that.
Steal these punchlines away. No, but essentially that's what it is. Even though we competition for each other, we wanna see each
Yeah,
other
for
grow.
sure.
So we work together. Come on my show, Yaseen, whatever. I'm gonna perform. Hopefully one day on your shows. And yeah, that's what it's about. Anyway, thanks
Awesome.
for coming on. Man.
Thanks for having me. It's lekker.
Check out Yaseen on all the socials.